Hello there everybody and welcome to your weekly forecast. This is for the week of October 16th, begins on a Monday and it ends on a Sunday. And as always, the format for this will be as follows. I start off with blessings and blocks, that's your higher and lower frequency energy for the week. Then I will go into the 7 days of the week. And then I like to end with sign-specific information. The main difference between these weekly and monthly forecasts are the weeklies are all channeled and the monthlies include a blend of tarot, oracle, and channeled information. So now that we have gone through all of that, why don't we get straight into the blessing for the week. Your blessing this week is to remember that you have much more power and much more authority than sometimes you give yourself credit for. And so what I would like for you to do is to observe in personal relationships, in business, and really in all parts of your life, how you are either empowering yourself or in some cases, how and where you might be giving away your ability to make decisions or your power. And so think about really taking an active role in all things. For business people, this means absolutely looking at the bottom line, looking at budgets. For people in relationships, this is making sure that there's absolute equity and reciprocity. And if not, to see where and how that balance was lost. And perhaps this week to bring that back into somewhat of an equilibrium. Now let's tune into the block for the week. This is really the energy that you want to try to avoid. It's sometimes a temptation, and sometimes it just brings out the shadow side or the shadow energy that we have. There are two parts to the message that I received for you this week. The first was to remain humble. And by doing so, this allows you to listen to criticism or accept news that may not be the most favorable and do so in a way that you don't become defensive. Instead, you could ask for answers. You could be critical yourself too, but in a curious way and say, wow, I never thought of it from that perspective. Let's do some more research, or why don't you tell me some more about it? And in doing so, you actually take whoever might be either on the defensive or inquiring, and you put them into a non-defensive, a sort of neutral place, and they realize that they have an audience with someone that is going to listen, that is open, and it creates a place of harmony where perhaps agitation could have existed instead. So stay humble, stay open, and try to be as neutral as possible, even if the news is difficult to listen to. All right, let's get into the week ahead. All right, let's start with Monday. On Monday, the main information that I'm receiving for you is to really pay attention to your resources. And the silver lining of this is that you could discover that you have unexpected assistance. So this could either be because you forgot about some money that you had, or there might be, if we're talking more about activities or energy, there might be more time than you thought you had. There could also be someone that's willing to give you a hand, and it may not cost extra money, time, or energy. So really look at your, not just your budget, but just for those of you that are in business, your overall plan. There could be a really great opportunity for some sort of what we would call an efficiency, something that's not going to cost extra, but it's going to help you quite a bit. And overall, this is a great time for either like finding a place where you could cut corners, or again, maybe saving some money or saving some time. It will come in an unexpected place, so don't be afraid to do a little bit of investigation. As we look at Tuesday, I think your main opportunity is going to be, this is sort of an echo of what we had in a previous week, but relationships are going to take center stage, and if there's anything that you want to either heal, release, or completely let go of, Tuesday's a prime time to do that. And I really think focusing on love relationships, and if you are single, working on yourself. Are there parts of yourself that you really want to improve or make peace with? This is going to be the most important thing you can do this week. As we look at Wednesday, this is really a chance for second chances, but particularly when it has to do with your health and anything that you've done that perhaps has taken you off your required path. So if your doctor's asked you to cut back on, drinking, smoking, etc., and you've had a hard time doing that, give it a second chance this week. And better yet, I'd like you to try to find a person that understands your point of view. A lot of times we are too hard on ourselves, or we go forward in a path where it's sort of like we think that it's almost boot camp where no pain, no gain. Really, what you have to do is make consistent, small, and achievable changes in your life that are going to allow for you to commit to something long term. So sometimes you don't hit it right out of the gate, But if you go back, try again, and also try a different approach, I really think that you're going to have some great chances on Wednesday to start again, and hopefully this time keep your promise to yourself or to your doctor, to your family. As we look at Thursday, this is a chance to simply let go. If there's anything in your life, really difficult relationships would be a great example, like a situation where you think, I've always done this, I guess I should keep doing this. Maybe this is a chance to kind of question that and think, just because you've always done it and it's not really making you happy, really evaluate. Is it just a habit in your life? Is it out of obligation but not really something where your heart is into it? Free yourself from something that's holding you back or pulling you emotionally or even sometimes physically down. So Thursday, walk away from something, but it's not about deserting. It's about realizing that you might have for too long held on to a person, place, thing, pattern that has been bringing you down a path that doesn't make you happy. On Friday, the main thing that's going to be challenging for you is simply being patient. So whether it's someone in your family that really knows how to push all of your buttons, your boss, your coworker, there's going to be a lot of chances for you to simply take a deep breath and not give in to the frustration or the aggravation that life is sort of putting in front of you. So try to take the higher road. Remember to breathe. If you don't have a meditation practice, the most important thing you could do in the morning is, first of all, make sure that you are not rushing. You want to start the day off in a pace that's not hurried, and start off with a few deep breaths, maybe 5 to 10 deep breaths, and put some affirmative thoughts and intentions behind each breath, thinking things like, I'm capable of any challenge that is going to come my way today. Rather than reacting, I'm going to listen, think, and then respond. And then you can also just think that I'm ready to reclaim my power in the situation, going back to the blessings and blocks we talked about. So really, Friday's the test of how high you can keep your frequency and your energy. Breathing will be your friend. Taking pauses and not reacting will also be your friend. Doing anything to avoid engaging your mouth before you've had a chance to engage your heart and also your mind. That's going to be really, really important. Okay? The weekend's a little bit easier. I actually think that Saturday, if you haven't sort of just spent some time to relax, to reward yourself, or to reward others in your life, this would be a great time to do that. And by reward, it can be as easy as picking up the phone and chatting with an old friend or a family member and saying, I love you, I miss you, I want to hear what's going on in your life. Rewarding them with basically undivided attention, better than any gift you could give someone. Also, if there's someone in your life that you think is underappreciated and you would like to treat them with something and sort of spoil them for the day, also a very good use of your time, energy, and money. On Sunday, this is a day where I think it's really important for you to elevate your mood through something that's going to make you laugh, smile, etc. So whatever you want to do in your life, whether it's accomplishing, a to-do list, maybe some people are happy cleaning and getting like 10 things done, and that brings you joy, great. If you want to go to see a movie or take some time and hike outside or spend time with your pet or your loved ones or whatever, just make sure that you're doing something that lightens your heart, lightens your mood. And I think you need to take a break if possible. I know some people have to work on the weekend, but if you don't, try to disengage from work. Turn off your phone and just spend some time celebrating life. It's really, really important occasionally to step aside from the stress of the week. So that brings us to the end of the weekly forecast. Why don't we take a look now at each of the signs and get some sign-specific information. We'll start off with Aries. For you, as really what I'm getting right now is the image of, if you think of photography or an old-fashioned Polaroid, after you took the picture, you would shake it for a second and then it would subtly start to come into focus. And development, learning, skill acquisition, it's very much the same way. Initially, we start to see the outlines of where this is taking us or why we're doing it, but it takes a while to fully develop the skills or feel like it's there. Then one day it just clicks. So for those of you that are trying to learn something new, whether it's a foreign language, some sort of a difficult skill or trade, or you're just working on yourself, trying to develop your own intuition, trying to develop or create new habits in your life that feel like this is something that you want to do. Just realize nothing happens overnight. It takes time for the developing to take place and for that final image to come through. Now let's move along to Taurus. Taurus, your channeled information this week is to really understand who you're talking to, know your audience. This is especially important if you have anything that requires an approval, if you're trying to win over someone who doesn't understand your point of view. You may have to concede to their point first and work your way toward some sort of a common ground in the middle. But take some time to do the research to understand who you're talking to, who you're meeting with, and again, even if it's people that you love and know, a friend, a family member, a loved one, it's a chance for you to maybe avoid repeating something that's happened in the past simply by remembering, by understanding, and by changing your procedures because you've done your homework. Now let's move along to Gemini. Gemini, your channeled information this week is to really focus on active listening. Even if you think you've heard something, repeat it back and make sure that you understood either the intent or the message itself. Sometimes things get lost in translation. As a sort of follow-up to that, if you hear anything through the grapevine or second-handed, you really want to go back to the source and ascertain whether this was an accurate report or if this was just gossip. So really make sure that sources of information are trustworthy, and do your extra research and due diligence and make sure that if you heard something, it was correct, and if someone reported something, it was accurate. Doing this is going to save you a lot of trouble and potentially some embarrassment as well. Also, this is just a great way to make sure that, as a skill, it's something you want to develop. Being a better and more active listener is going to make anybody that you're communicating with feel much more open and trusting of you because they see that you're actually taking in what they're giving to you. Now let's take a look at Cancer. Cancer, as I was tuning into your energy this week, really what I saw was a chance for connections to take place. For me, I saw two links kind of coming together, and what that shows me is that there could be an unexpected link, an unexpected connection happening in if you go to a party, a work gathering, or some sort of it's a social activity that will help you meet an important person. So if you're someone who's usually shy or keeps to themselves, I want you to try to somehow put yourself more out there, either literally in a social sphere where you go out after work, hang out with coworkers, or to a friend or family member's party or celebration, or maybe get a little more active on social media. And this could be a chance to meet someone that's going to help open up either a career opportunity or, for some of you, even a love opportunity. But the important part of this is that you have to be open to receive, and you have to put yourself out there. And RSVP yes if you're invited somewhere this week. Otherwise, what you want to do is focus on, for those of you that are job seeking, this is a great week for researching and reaching out. You are going to be the agent that creates this connection, but you have to be out there and you have to be willing to take a risk. Now let's take a look at Leo. Leo, your message this week is quite simply to slow down, not only so that you get a chance to really enjoy what's going on or to pay attention to what's going on, but also so that you're paying attention to the details. So for any of you that have an opportunity or responsibility to go through things, proofread, edit, etc., really make sure that you're catching everything and looking twice before sending something off. For the rest of you, this is encouraging you to kind of take a pause and not make any decision too quickly. If you have a chance to put something off until next week, great. Give yourself ample time to research alternatives, to really get comfortable with making the decision, and also to make sure that you allow time for things to basically unravel. You don't want to rush into something this week. So take your time, adjust your expectations and others' expectations of you accordingly, and I think that this will put you in a really good position. Virgo, your message this week is to plan ahead as much as possible. In matters of work, you want to be proactive and you really don't want to delegate. This is going to be your time to shine as long as you look at all of the details and make sure that things are getting completed to your satisfaction. So try to anticipate and work ahead. In relationships, what you want to try to do is empathize and see where your partner could be needing something but not speaking up, And again, try not to be the one that needs to be reminded to get something done or to do something. With work, with relationships, ask a question if you need to make sure that you have the right set of instructions or the right assumption, and then just execute on it. You're going to make everyone around you much happier that you're ahead. I think next week there's probably going to be a need to take on some new responsibilities. So whatever you can get finished this week is going to help you quite a bit. So yeah, be proactive and then also try to get things done as quickly as possible. This also carries over in health. So if there's anything going on in your body and you don't feel that it's right or that it is the way it should be proactive. Talk to your doctor about that as well. Libra, your energy this week is all about expansion. In particular, it's about shining as brightly as possible. A lot of times you can be put to the side, or you even subdue your own energy so that other people can to shine more brightly, or you can create peace. I'm encouraging you this week to step in a place of really self-empowerment and do what you want to do. Don't allow for other people to push you down or to push you back or off your path. So stay strong, stay true to yourself. For those of you that are creative, this is a very, very good week to pour energy into creative endeavors. And again, in that situation, I want you to really follow your heart. Don't allow other people to try to tell you to do something in a different way. Okay? So shine brightly this week, Libra, and keep me posted on how that works for you. Scorpio, your message this week is to realize that thoughts are powerful, and that if you spend a lot of time overthinking something or thinking negatively about it, it can actually unravel the positive energy that is in a situation. So if you're feeling inadequate at work and worried that people may think that you're not good enough, or that maybe in your head you start to think you're not good enough, people will start to pick up on that. So instead, if things are going well, just keep working hard and thinking that, well, I don't understand this, but I'm going to embrace this. And pretty soon, maybe you can get to the point where you think, I guess maybe I underestimated myself. I'm doing well, and it feels good to do well. Reprogramming your thought process so that the negative, it becomes neutral, and then eventually it can even become positive. Not inflated, but positive. So I really want you to focus on the way that you're thinking. And if you're having trouble with kind of like thinking yourself into a corner, I want you to focus on doing very practical things this week. So cleaning the house, getting caught up on files and old projects at work, or doing any sort of self-improvement, going to the gym, etc. Really get your mind into a physical action and stop the wheels from turning too much. It's going to help you quite a bit. And the underlying theme this week is things are better than you think, so think more positively if you can. Sagittarius, if you have been waiting for some changes to happen in your life, this week more than ever, it's a chance for you to help create those changes. Every action you create in your life is going to have a profound reaction, and I want you to really harness and understand the power that you have this week to create that change. So think about the areas, the situations in your life that you want to shift, and take one step towards making them happen. And if you do this thoughtfully and really kind of anticipate how this is going to cause a chain reaction in a positive way, then you're going to really harness the opportunities that are ahead of you this week. I see a lot of this in work, not as much in relationships, but I think areas of work and finance, you can really create some changes. So embrace it, and best of luck. Capricorn, your energy this week is filled with creativity. A lot of times your sign is seen as a very good business and practical sign, but where you're going to shine this week is in your creative arena. So the other thing that I'm seeing for you too, and it's an extension of that creativity, is your mentorship as well. So if you've been thinking of possibly teaching, training, or taking on a mentee, in other words, being a mentor, this is a great time to set that into action. Not only is it going to fulfill for some of you something you've really wanted to do for a long time, but it's also going to set you up as an expert, as someone that people look up to and appreciate for your generosity. For those of you that just want to express your creative side, this is a week where you can take a risk. You can branch out and do something that you would think that maybe only an artistic type or creative type could do. You just have to believe in yourself, and then that great strong energy that you have to make things happen can really get behind your art, your expression, and put you in a place where people are going to react well. So take a risk, express yourself, and if you like, also train or teach others and inspire them. So inspire and be inspired is your message. Aquarius, your message this week is inspired by what I saw in my head when I thought of your sign, which was just a wide open space. So 2 words, clean and clear. Clean can be both a description of the space around you, it can also be a verb saying that this is a great time for you to take action in your life and clean out anything that doesn't feel good. This can be a detoxification of your body, what you're putting into it. It can be also cleaning of your space, clearing out any thoughts that don't feel that they are supporting you. So really being as clear, as clean as possible, that's going to help you quite a bit. And the other thing is simplifying your life. If there's anything that is creating a sense of chaos, havoc, etc., I want you to tune it out a little bit. On several of our devices, we have this option for like a do not disturb schedule. So you can sometimes set it up so notifications go away from like 10 p.m. till 7 a.m. Think about doing something like that so that you can just relax at night. Or if you've always gone to sleep with the TV on, maybe turn the TV off. If you need some white noise, that's fine. But I want you to try to meditate or just allow for some space, because the space is often going to reveal something that we wouldn't see or understand when all the noise is going on. So try to just allow for a little bit more quiet time, a little bit more meditation or thoughtfulness, and see what comes through for you. All right, finally, let's take a look now at Pisces. Pisces, your message this week is to allow yourself to occasionally draw outside of the lines. Sometimes we have to understand the boundaries and then push beyond the boundaries. So there's going to be things in your life this week that are challenging your preconceived ideas of what's acceptable, what's beautiful, what you can accomplish. And I want you to think beyond these limits and allow your mental brush to kind of go outside of those lines, because if you do that, you could create something more beautiful and more unique than people may have allowed you to do if you just followed the rules. So I'm not asking you to sort of be like a rebel, but what I'm saying is don't hamper your creativity just because no one else has gone in a direction that you have. Really great visionary people don't worry about how conventional something is. Sometimes the more unique, the better. And sometimes when you let go of making something perfect, you stumble upon a solution that is genius. So give yourself a chance to just explore without any sort of prejudice of where or if this might be a good outcome. So that brings us to a close for this week. I hope you enjoyed the format, and more importantly, that the information that came through was helpful for you. I do this every week so that you can get to a place where you are ready for what comes ahead, and also so that we all can continue to grow intuitively. To that end, I thank each of you for spending some time with me this week and allowing me to hopefully shine a light on what's coming through for you. And if you'd like to stay in touch, there are several ways you can do that. If you'd like to just simply subscribe to the channel, that's the easiest. Remember that there is that bell icon where you can get emails as well. Or you can subscribe to my newsletter, and there's a link in the description area below to do so. I'd love for you to join me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter if you have an account there, as I always post new information there as soon as it's available. If you found that this was useful and you'd like to just give it back, I have an option on my site to donate, and you can do so in any amount, so feel free to do that if you'd like. I'm also on Patreon, and that's a great way to send a donation on a monthly basis of any amount as well. I also offer one-on-one appointments if you'd like to dig a little bit deeper into your health, wealth, love, and destiny and see what's in store. You can check the link out in the description area below, and I also have a link in the video itself. Finally, I just want to thank everybody here for the love, the support, all the likes, subscribes, and comments. I really do appreciate it. It lets me know that these are making a difference in your life. So wishing you much light, abundance, and happiness in the week ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.